Hi everyone and welcome back to Joe's Bistro. Today we are building the foundation of great cooking, essential stocks. We will make vegetable, chicken, and beef stock. They are simple to make, use basic ingredients, and will elevate your meals to a professional level. Let's start. First, let's make the vegetable stock. As you can see, we have a great mix of onion skins, carrot ends, chives, and leek stalks, even potato skins. If you watched my last video, you remember my golden rule. Never throw away your vegetable scraps. I kept all of mine in the freezer just for this moment. Using scraps is a smart, professional way to reduce waste and save money in the kitchen. To elevate the flavor profile, I am also adding 2 more ingredients. Some ripe tomatoes I had left in the fridge, and 1 tablespoon of whole black peppercorns, but I'll do that later. The peppercorns will add a subtle, beautiful warmth without making it spicy. So let's put these saved scraps right into our deep pot. Now we cover everything with cold water. Remember, always start with cold water, so the vegetables release their flavor slowly as the temperature rises. For now, we are going to set this pot aside and let it wait, because we are going to prepare the next stock right away. Let's move on to the chicken. Now let's look at our chicken. I have it here in this aluminum container to keep everything clean and avoid contamination. These are fresh chicken pieces that are perfect for a soup or stock. We have the wings, the wing tips, the neck, the back, and the bone from the breast. I am leaving the skin on because the fat in the skin adds an amazing deep flavor to the liquid. Next, let's check our aromatics. I am lifting this tray so you can see them clearly. We are using oregano, bay leaves, and rosemary in that exact order. For the vegetables, we are using fresh cuts this time, some red onion and large pieces of carrots. I am also adding a mix of leek and green onion that I preserved in oil to keep it fresh. Oh, and one more thing, I am also adding a tablespoon of whole black peppercorns. You might not see them on the tray right now, but I promise you they will be in the pot. All of these beautiful ingredients go straight into our second pot. Just like before, we cover everything with the right amount of cold water so we can start extracting those rich flavors. Now, our chicken base is ready to go. Finally, let's talk about the beef stock. I have some raw beef ribs here in this aluminum container. You can use any cut of beef for this, but remember, if the piece has bones, it is much better for the flavor and body of the stock. I am placing them straight into this iron pot. For the base, we are using the same red onion and chopped carrots, along with that great mix of leek and green onion. But this time, we are using different spices. We have cumin, homemade garlic powder, made by me, and dried cilantro leaves. And yes, just like the chicken, I will add the black peppercorns later. Finally, we just cover the whole mix with cold water, and our third base is ready. This is my favorite pot to cook meat because it holds the heat beautifully, very similar to a Dutch oven. But don't worry, you can use any pot you have at home. Now the hard part, waiting. We need to cook all three stocks on a very low heat. It should barely bubble. We are going to let them simmer low and slow for about 5 to 6 hours, stirring just once in a while. So how do we kill time for 6 hours? Well, I decided to read a book. Let's get cozy, because this is going to take a while. And we are back. 6 hours have passed for me, but thanks to the magic of the internet, it was only a few seconds for you. Look at this beautiful stock. It is still piping hot and steaming. I wish you could smell this right now. The amazing aromas of these three stocks filled my entire house. Now it's time to strain it. I am placing a colander over a large bowl to separate the liquid from the cooked vegetables. Do this slowly and carefully because everything is very hot. We want to catch all those large pieces. To make it look truly professional, I am straining the liquid one more time using a fine mesh strainer. This step guarantees our stock is completely smooth, clear, and free of any tiny particles. Finally, we just pour our perfect stock into a storage container. Once it cools down completely, it is ready for the fridge or the freezer. Now let's process our beef stock. The aroma here is incredible. Even my dog is standing right next to me, completely amazed by the smell. First, I am taking out these pieces of beef ribs. Don't throw these away. We can save this meat for another delicious recipe later. Next, we need to strain the stock. Just like before, I am pouring everything through a colander to separate the large pieces of cooked vegetables from our beautiful dark liquid. Do this carefully, as the steam is very hot. To make it perfect, I am using the fine mesh strainer one more time. This ensures we remove any remaining tiny particles, leaving us with a smooth, professional, and clear beef stock. Finally, let's pour the liquid into its storage container. Here is a very important tip. Always use a permanent marker to label your containers. Write down exactly what stock is inside and the creation date. Trust me, once they are frozen, they all look the same, and this will avoid any confusion in your kitchen. Last but not least, let's look at our chicken stock. Just like we did with the beef, the first step is to take out the pieces of chicken and put them in a separate bowl. Now, you might wonder, what do we do with the cooked vegetables? Honestly, they have already given all their flavor to the liquid, so we can't use them for cooking anymore. But don't throw them in the trash. You can add them to a compost bin to grow new vegetables, or you can blend them up and add them to your pet's food. In my case, my dog absolutely loves it. Now let's strain our chicken stock. This time, I am using the fine mesh strainer right from the start. I wanted to show you this to prove that you can do it this way too. The main idea here at Joe's Bistro is to adapt and use whatever tools you already have available in your kitchen. I am straining it one more time, just to make sure the liquid is as pure, clear, and clean as possible right into our final container. Once it is filled, here is a crucial rule. We must let the stock cool down completely to room temperature before putting it away. After it cools, you can store it in the fridge or the freezer for at least 24 hours to let the flavor settle and get it ready for your next recipes. And we are back. 24 hours have passed. This was enough time for our stocks to gain body and for the fat to rise to the top and solidify. Let's open them up. As you can see, if I point right here, each stock has a completely different consistency. The chicken, the vegetable, and the beef all have unique bodies and textures because they come from different elements. Let's look closely at each one. Now it's time to remove that fat. I am using a small mesh strainer, but you can easily use a spoon if you don't have one. Let's start with the chicken stock. Next, we will do the exact same thing for the beef stock and finally the vegetable stock. You might notice a tiny bit of fat on the vegetable stock, and that is because we used my green onion and leek mix preserved in oil. Here is a very important rule. Between each stock, you must wash your strainer or spoon thoroughly or use a clean one. We need to do this to avoid mixing the flavors. We want to keep each profile completely pure. And here is the final result. Look at these beautiful colors and textures. We have our beef, chicken, and vegetable stocks. The flavor and depth of each one is just unimaginable. Always remember this. Every legendary sauce or soup starts with an incredible stock. You cannot build great flavor without a solid foundation. Before we go, I want to give you one last tip for the vegetable stock. Be very careful with bell peppers. Don't use too much of them because they can actually make your stock taste a bit sour or bitter. Keep it balanced. And that's it. You now have 3 incredible homemade bases to elevate your cooking. Remember, simple ingredients, creative meals, your kitchen. If you enjoyed this guide, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to Joe's Bistro. See you in the next recipe.